Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodificationcom, and this is my Smart American Accent training. Welcome to our members class, and welcome to our new members. So nice to see you here. We've invited everyone to join the members class today so you can get a feel for what our Sunday classes are like. If you like the class and you think it would be useful for you, you're welcome to join as a channel member and come back again next week. What we're going to do is talk a little bit about the sound that letter G makes, the G sound today. Then I'm going to cover the requests that came in from channel members over the week, and then I'll take your questions live from everyone. So first of all, the members know we've been doing the American Sounds Challenge. Each week I'm releasing a new video on a different sound in English. It goes hand in hand with our Sounds of English online course. And this week, we want to look at the sound of letter G, or the G sound. And what I want to talk about is a couple of things. There are a couple of accent error patterns I associate with this sound. And the primary one is that when the G sound is at the ends of words, sometimes people will make a K sound instead of a G sound. So for example, someone trying to say the word pig, it might sound more like pick. What's happening there is the difference between my voice being on for the G sound, G, and my voice being off for the K sound, K. So I don't do anything different with how I'm making the sound in my mouth. But when I say a sound like big, or for example, at the beginning of a word, if I say, let's look at the words, let's see, how about girl versus curl. When I say the G sound, I can feel that there's vibration in my throat, versus curl, k is a silent, voiceless sound. There's no voicing on there. So the error doesn't happen at the start of words for people. It happens at the end. And there's two things you can do to correct it. Number one, if I'm saying a word like big or dog or egg, I want to make sure my voice is on for that G. But even more important than that, I want to hold my vowel sound longer. In a sound that ends with a voiceless sound like a K sound, we hold the vowel for a short time, pick, pick. But in pig, pig, I have to hold the vowel a little longer, and then you perceive and hear this G sound. So even if I don't make a strong G, even if I don't say pig with a strong G, if I hold the vowel longer, pig, pig, it'll sound like a G to your listener. And so the most important thing is to think about lengthening. If you're saying a word like big, dog, etc., holding your vowel sound a little longer is going to help you get that G. You can also think about blending or linking to the next vowel sound and using a voice sound there as well. I talk about that a lot more in the Sounds Challenge video that released today, so check that out. Then one other pattern I want to talk about for the G sound is when we have the letters NG in the middle of a word. In some words, like finger, we do have a G sound. That actually sounds like finger, where we have the NG sound, and the G sound, g, finger, versus a word like singer. Singer has no G sound in it. It just has the NG sound. So we associate the letters NG in words like thing, ring, sing, going, doing, with this ng sound. There's no G. Oftentimes I will hear people say thing with a G sound, and you just want the NG sound. When we talk about the NG sound, we'll talk about this error in more detail, and you can check out my videos for that. But there are some times, like in finger or hunger, where we have an NG sound plus a G sound. So you want to watch out not to say finger and singer, but finger and singer. So you can get more help for those patterns as well in my Word of the Day videos about these words, as well as in our Sounds of English course and our American Sounds Challenge videos. Okay, so that's what I wanted to highlight about the G sound. Next, I want to cover some requests that came in from channel members throughout the week. So Rose was asking about The name Brad, she was saying it was difficult for her to say. So let's break down the name, the sounds in this name, and help you with that, Rose. So the letter A in Brad actually follows the spelling rules for a stressed syllable where it has the black cat sound. So one suggestion I would have is to associate it with, for example, a word like cat, and try to match your vowel. So Brad's cat, or you can try something like at Brad's. It's going to help you match that vowel and get it in the word Brad. Also, you can think about if the BR blend is giving you trouble, trying just to say rad, start on the R, rad, and then add your B, rad, Brad. When I'm saying Brad, my tongue is already in the R position at the start of the word. So I just close my lips to make the B, rad, Brad. If I start with the B and then try to move to the R position, it ends up sounding like Brad, and I get a vowel sound in between these two sounds. You want to be able to move right from the B into the R, and the way to do that is to be ready with the R ahead of time. So again, starting with the R sound. And then just like we were talking about with the letter G, I hold that vowel a little longer so that you can hear that I'm using a D. Brad, versus if I hold it too short, brat, it'll sound like the word brat, even if I'm not saying releasing the sound. So as you know, Rose, words that end with D and T, I'm not going to necessarily be saying Brad with a strong D. I probably will do a stopped D, Brad. If I hold the vowel longer, people will hear it as a D rather than brat. If I hold the vowel shorter, they'll hear it as a T sound. Okay, so hopefully that helped you with that name. Let me know, Rose, if it didn't, and we can talk about other details that might help you. You can tell me if there's something more specific that you're struggling with. Okay, nice to see everyone here. Now I'm going to turn to your questions. Feel free to ask them at any time in the chat. We have a question about, well, it's not a question. This viewer is preparing for the TOEFL exam and looking at academic words on the channel. So I'm glad that helped you. And if you have any specific requests, feel free to ask those today as well. Hi, Pooja. Nice to see you. We have a request for the word bought. And I think you also said good morning, which now I translated your comments in some other classes, and I was able to translate that, although it could be something else. But that looks like you were saying good morning to me. You can tell me if I'm wrong. So the word bought has the ah vowel. It's the same vowel as in words like fought or caught. Sometimes we spell it A-U, O-U, like in these words, or A-W. The symbol in the dictionary looks like this. I think of it as A-W, and that helps me respell it. Helps me visualize the sound. Ah. You want some lip rounding. Ah, and the jaw is fairly open for that. Versus an O, boat, bought. You want to have a different pattern there. So building it from the vowel, ah, bought. And then we just have a T. We might make a stopped T there, bought. Yeah, good. The GH letters are silent. You can try pairing it with a word like thought if that's easier, or also the word taught. Those are rhyming words with bought. That's definitely a challenging one. All right, we have a request for the word enfranchisement and enfranchise. So let's start with franchise, where the stress is on the fran syllable. We have the a vowel that we were talking about in Brad. So again, I would build it from the R. I would try ran, fran, and then the chise syllable has the ch sound that we associate with ch. The letter I says its name. It's the I diphthong. And the letters se say the z sound. And then the en in enfranchise is an unstressed syllable, so it sounds more like an in. So thinking about it like enfranchise. I'll write it that way, enfranchise. And then enfranchisement, we just add one more syllable. And what we have there is a syllabic N. So I almost have no vowel there. If I had a little vowel, it would be an I or a schwa, mint or munt. But you want to go from the M to the N as quickly as you can with almost no vowel, mint. And then most words that end in T or NT, we tend to use a stop T. So enfranchisement, I'm not necessarily going to release that T. It's okay to say enfranchisement with a small t, but you might notice native speakers stopping that t and not really releasing it. Yeah, good words. Thank you for that request. We have a request for the words individualism, erroneous, and discriminatory. Okay, so let's look at your words. First we have individualism. Okay, breaking that down, individualism, we have the stress on the vid syllable. So I would start there, use your lax I vowel, vid, like in video. And then the ind syllables are short and unstressed. So we're going to have the I, and this letter I is either going to say an I or a schwa, either indi or inda. So I'll write it as inda. I want to be very fast on those. Individ, that's where my stress is. And then individual, vidual. So actually I'll think about it like individual. So we have this du actually says the j sound. So individu, we have the j sound there. That's written this way, individual. We use a tense u sound here, individual. We have a dark L, so schwa before the L, jewel, individu. You might write it this way, jewel. And then lastly, the ism has a lax I, a voice E sound, and a syllabic N. Individualism. I'll still write it as a vid because you kind of think of that word video that can help you. Individualism. So this jewel might get reduced to individualism, where we would kind of leave the oo sound off. So it would be more individualism, an individual. If I go slowly, individualism, I'll have the ul, but that's a place where we tend to reduce the u to more of a ya. Yeah, that's a tough word. Thank you for that request. You also asked for erroneous and discriminatory. So in erroneous, again, we have second syllable stress. Erroneous. So thinking about that like the word row. And then here we have an I sound. Erroneous. Erroneous. It would look like this. Erroneous in the dictionary. Erroneous. So even though we have error with an air diphthong at the beginning of this, we have the stresses on this R, so we just have kind of an I, erroneous, or an erroneous. You can even think of it as a schwa in that unstressed first syllable. And then your third word was discriminatory. So discriminatory. Discriminatory, again, second syllable stress. So there's a little bit of a theme in your words where For all of those words, if you start on the stressed syllable, so for example, if you started with individualism has third syllable stress, but for erroneous and discriminatory, try starting on erroneous and then just tack on erroneous. Same with discriminatory, start with discriminatory, and then just tack on your discriminatory. So you have a little light unstressed first syllable. Then we have our scrim syllable, another unstressed inna, schwa, tor, clear or vowel, and e. So I would think about this one as being scrim. Think about kind of, you might want to build from rim. So trying rim, crim, scrim, discrim. And then discrimin, tor. We have some secondary stress there. Tor, and then ending with an e. Discriminatory. Yeah, tough words you asked about. Thank you for those requests. I hope that helps you. All right. Nice to see you. Okay. We have a request for the word erudite. So erudite. We have first syllable stress. So the letters ER say the air diphthong in this word. Eru. And then we have an U sound for the letter U. The letter E makes the I say its name. So we have the I diphthong. So thinking about it like dite, or same, it rhymes with, if we could also spell it that way, with like night and light. Erudite. Yeah. Great. So we have a request for access and excess. So I actually just covered access and axis today on Facebook, and that video will be here as a word of the day video soon, so you can check that out. After class, I may go through and put some timestamps in to direct you to other resources for specific words so you can get more details. So you can come back and check the comments later on, and I can help you with that. We'll briefly cover, though, access versus excess. So in access, I have first syllable stress. We have the black cat vowel, and then we have the red tent vowel. So it sounds like access. And then in excess, we have second syllable stress. So we have the unstressed I sound, excess. So in excess, that's my IPA. So I would write it like this, and then you want your cess to be long. So I have long, short, access versus short, long, excess. Yeah, those are tough. Slight vowel differences. The main difference is going to be the syllable stress. So working on practicing cess, excess, and access to help you with that stress pattern. Great. Okay, we have a request for the word perfectly. Let's look at your word. So we have first syllable stress, perfectly. Hold your per syllable longer. You want to start from your and then add your per. So starting per, and then perfectly. What we do here is we make a stopped T. So it'll sound like perfect. I'm not gonna really say that T. I'm gonna just stop my K very short. Perfectly, and then I'll move my tongue forward for that T, and I'll release it into the li sound. So perfectly. In the dictionary, they're going to put that T in there, so that's not going to help you, but realizing that in the middle of words, when the T is followed by an L, perfectly, I'm probably not going to say perfectly because it would break the word up and break my flow. It's easier to or it's more fluent to do the stop T and release right into the L perfectly. Thank you for that request. Okay, we have a request for the word staple. So in the word staple, we have an A diphthong, stressed first syllable, staple, and then we have a syllabic L. So it's going to sound like the word stay, and then it's going to sound a little bit like the word pull, except that I'm not going to do much vowel there. I'm going to move as quickly as I can from the P right to the L, pull, pull. You'll just hear there's a little bit of a schwa because it's a dark L. So you can try just doing ul, keep the back of the tongue down and lift the front of the tongue. Ul, pull, staple, staple. Yeah, that's a tough one. You can get more help for all of the vowel sounds, the syllabic L, all of these different things I'm referring to in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. It walks you through the different sounds of English, how they're spelled, what accent patterns to watch out for, and how to practice to change and improve the pronunciation on all of the sounds and build those sounds into words. Check it out on speechmodification.com. I think you'll find it very helpful. Okay, we have, let's see, sorry, there's a lot of wonderful requests. If you made a request and I answered it, I might skip yours and go to someone new. And then if there's time, I'll come back to your additional requests. As I mentioned before, I'll also go back after class, look through the comments. And if I don't get to everyone, I'll give you some resources. I can also add your words to cover them in the Word of the Day upcoming classes. Those of you who are channel members, I'll be sure to answer your requests. So if you're watching and you're a channel member, put in your request and I'll jump ahead to your questions and requests. Okay, so we have a comment. The other day I heard the phrase, "You can come with us." And for me, in that with us, there was another sound between the TH and the us. That doesn't happen with it. So it would be with it versus with us. Okay, so you can come with us. So let's just look at, I'll try with saying these phrases linked with it and with us. So with it, what you might notice there is that because I have the I vowel in both, with it, let's give me that with it. Would you like fries with it? With it. I'm staying high and front for those TH sounds, with it. Versus with us, I have to do that schwa, that sound. I have to drop my tongue more. So come with us, come with us, come with it. I'm not sure what sound you're hearing, really. I think you're probably just hearing the difference between those two vowels. You need to come with us. Maybe what's happening there is that I'm going a little bit more voiced. That's the other thing. So I say with, typically, with a voiceless TH, with. But many people say with it, with us. And maybe when I'm saying with us, I go a little bit more voiced as I'm linking those two, whereas with it, it's easier for me to keep that voiceless TH. I'm not sure. Maybe you're hearing a difference there. Both are acceptable. I can do with us or with us, with it or with it. So that might be what you're hearing, something different there on the voicing of the TH. There's no additional sounds that happen in there. It's just there's some flexibility on whether or not we use a th or a th in these phrases. I hope that answered your question. It may have also been what the particular speaker that you were hearing for that phrase did something different. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. We have a request for the word reputation. So reputation. This has the stress on the te syllable that has the a diphthong. So I would build from that. Te, reputation. These first two unstressed syllables, reputation, have a little secondary stress on the rep because it has the clear F vowel. Rep, and then rep U. This letter U has a glide and the oo sound. So reputation, thinking about it like rep, U, te, shun. You can think about it like shun or shun. It's again a syllabic N with very little vowel before it. Reputation. So what you want to watch out for is that it's not an oo, but rather a U. Reputation. Yeah, okay. We have a request for rhinovirus. So I do have a video just for virus, and then adding on rhino. It's got the I diphthong, so like the word I or my eye. First syllable stress there, rhino, and then rhinovirus. Secondary stress on virus with a schwa. So I would think about that like even maybe rye, if that helps you. Rye, no, virus. Ris or rus. Rhinovirus. So stress on the I diphthongs, and then less stress on the O and the us diphthongs. Rhinovirus. The rhinoviruses have really been died down somewhat with people wearing masks and not spreading these smaller colds and flus in the last year. That's been one positive side effect. Okay, we have a request for pronunciation of words ending in the suffix age, like baggage, language, luggage. I do have a video for language, that particular word. So let's look at baggage or luggage. What we're looking at here is the age in these words is not like the word age. So if I'm saying age, it has a clear A diphthong. In baggage, it's an I. The letter A says the I vowel, I, or even a schwa, baggage. I think it's more of an I vowel. And then the letter G says the J sound. So if that gives you trouble, the G at the end, you can use a G at the beginning to help you. And I have a video that talks about that in my American Accent 6-week course on speechmodificationcom. So I would just think about it like similar to the word edge, but no length here, and switch it to an I vowel. So thinking about idge. Yeah, so going from edge to idge might help you. Edge, idge, baggage, luggage, gidge. Yeah, making just sure you have that pushed out J sound that we often associate with letter J at the start of words. My video for language might help you with that as well. I do also have a video about the J sound in the beginning, middle, and ends of words. And if you check that out, you can check it out on our YouTube channel and also on the Sounds of English that goes through every sound in American English. That's on speechmodification.com. Okay, we have a request for jurisprudence. So looking at jurisprudence. Main stress in this is on the pru syllable. I'm going to rewrite that like pru. This jur at the beginning just has the vowel, so you might want to rewrite it like an er, jur. This letter S is an S sound, and we have the I vowel. So thinking about juris, pru, and then dence at the end is going to almost have no vowel. Again, there's our syllabic N, so going as quickly as I can from the D to the N, and the CE says S, so jurisprudence. If you want the IPA, let me know, and I'll rewrite that for you, but jur, yeah, when I see that, it's almost easier for me to think of jur because I think of the word like jury. So it's just the ER sound. Building it from your jur might help, juris. And then also I would build from the stress syllable, prudence, jurisprudence. Yeah, tough word. Thank you. Okay. We have a request for Pinnacle. So the card game, Pinnacle. I would think about it like P-knuckle, but first syllable stress, Pinnacle. So, and the word knuckle, you can break it down like pinnacle. Syllabic L at the end, Pinnacle. Yeah. Anybody here play that card game? We used to play that when I was a kid. Okay. So as I mentioned before, if I answered one of your questions, I might skip you for now and come back if there's time. I'm going to take a few more questions, try to get to everybody's. And again, I encourage you to come back on Friday to our live class. You can also leave your questions as comments on any video, and I'll add them to our Word of the Day series. I cover a new word each day, and they're all viewer requests. There is a little bit of a wait time for those because I have such a great list of wonderful requests from all of you. Part of why we have this Sunday members class is that channel members who join the channel get some perks. So anytime they ask for a word or a request in live class, I cover it right away. And if they ask in a comment on any video throughout the week, I cover it each Sunday for them. So it's a great way for, if this is a good time for you for class, you can join as a channel member and come each week at this time to get your questions answered. Also, if it's not the best time for you, or if you can't make it to a live class, you can still ask your questions and get an answer within a week and have me covering your words. So it's just a perk I offer. It's a way to support the channel. We also have additional videos that are just for channel members. So I do want to take some time to thank you, channel members, those of you who have joined. I really appreciate your support. Okay, a couple more questions. Trying to get to some people who haven't had an answer yet. We have a request for a difference between the cup sound and the schwa. So I think maybe what you're asking about is the vowel sound in cup. That is a vowel schwa, but sometimes people don't, people differentiate the two different kinds of schwa. So we have in the dictionary, you're going to see two different symbols. In cup, you're going to see this symbol. It sounds like ah. The difference between this and the schwa in something like the word about, which is written this way, is that this is the unstressed schwa and it's just short. But both of them sound like both are made with the tongue central and lax. And this one is just held longer because it's stressed. So if I'm saying the word cup, I have to hold it longer. If I'm saying about, this is a really reduced vowel. So we have several vowels that can be clear or reduced. So in cup, we have a clear, long In about or other words where we have an unstressed schwa, we have a reduced, shortened The sound and how I make it is the same. What you need to watch out for is that these ones tend to be more difficult because you have to hold them longer. And a common error pattern I'll hear is people will do something closer to an ah vowel or an ah vowel, where they'll say something more like cop instead of cup, because it's hard for them to make that schwa sound, that lax central sound, and hold it long enough. I like using the word above as an example because I have two different spelled letters in this word, but it's they're both schwas. So I have an unstressed schwa, and then a stressed schwa, bov. So it sounds like bov, same vowel, but this one is short and this one is long. So bov, above. Hopefully that's what you meant by cup versus the schwa vowel, stressed and unstressed. I do talk about this in detail in my Sounds of English course and also in my videos about vowel schwa. That's a great question. Thank you. Okay. All right, couple more, and then I'm going to need to wrap up for today. It's so nice to see so many of you. Pooja, I will be live again on Friday. I know for you where you are, it's not a great time because it's 12 o'clock in Seattle. So it'll be 12:30 in the morning where you are. But you can always watch the repeat of the live broadcast each week as well. Okay, we have a question about the They wrote it this way, I write it this way, but it's the vowel sound in men and the in man. I'm going to direct you to my video for men versus man that goes into a lot of detail about the being more open and the being more closed. I'll also suggest that you try doing something like using a word like read or said, pairing that with men. It's easier to do the when there's no N. The M and N kind of mess it up. So your ideas of pen and pan are also difficult. And then an like that man. So opening, that man, and said men, more central, more closed. After class, come back, check out the comments, and I'll put a link for my men and man video for you there. That's also something that you can see in our Sounds of English course. Okay. Great. So nice to see so many of you. I'm sorry I didn't get to every single request today. It's great. I will go back through and look at those, add them to my list to cover in future classes. And if you join as channel members, I'll cover them for you next week. If you are not interested in joining, that's okay too. I will work my way through all of your requests, and eventually you'll see that as a word of the day. Do, if you would like, leave comments on this video or any of my videos with your other requests, and then I can notify you when I get to your video and when I cover it. I do go back through and respond to all of the comments on any of my videos. It's been wonderful seeing you here today. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, and I hope you can make it to tomorrow's Word of the Day class, as well as next Friday's live question and answer class that's open to everyone. Next Sunday, we'll have our members class as well, but it'll be open just to channel members. So this was a special public version of our members class. Thanks everyone so much. I appreciate your support, and it was great to see you today. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Thank you.